Okay, so today's lesson is on mean, median, and mode. Usually a subject that a lot of people are familiar with, which is good. There are three different ways of measuring what we call the central tendency of a large collection of numbers, a data set. That is, what's the average? What's the middle? If we could use one number to sum up the whole group, what is like a normal number? Now, the mean you get by adding up all the numbers 1 plus 7 plus 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus 9 plus 7 plus 6, and then you divide it by the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. And let's see, 9 and 1 is 10, 7 and 3 is another 10, 20, 6 and 4 is another 10, 30, and then this is 39, 46. So 46 divided by 10 is 4.6. This is the kind of average that mathematicians like the best because it uses all of the numbers, and if any one of these numbers changes a little bit, the mean changes. There's a lot of nice theorems in mathematics that involve the mean. However, if you're taking the average of money that people have, then one person who has billions of dollars is going to really throw it off. There's oftentimes we want other ones. The mode isn't the median. The median is found by putting the numbers from start to finish. So we got 1 is the smallest one, and then we have a 2, and we have another 2, and that's it for 2s, and then we have a 3, and then we have a 4, and then we have a 5, and a 6, and two sevens and a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And what we do is we take the very middle, right? So there's 5 numbers here and 5 numbers here. You take the very middle. Now, if there's an odd number of things, there will be a single number in the middle. That's your median. In a case like this, I'm trying to use a slightly tricky example. There's an even number of data points, so there's 2 numbers in the middle, and so the median is going to be the average of those two. You add them together. 4 plus 5 over 2 is 9 halves, or 4.5 is the median. And then the mode is whatever number is most common. And the trick here is that we have 2 2s and we have 2 7s, and we don't have 3 of anything. So this is bimodal, we say. That we have the mode is 2 and 7. We have 2 different modes. Now, if you have millions and millions of things, it's not likely that you're going to have a tie for things, but that's how that works. Now, the one place that people are going to most likely have trouble on this subject is, for example, how do you combine means? So we have 10 boulders with a mean weight of 130 pounds and 7 bigger ones that average, let's say, 180 pounds. What is the average of all? Now, a lot of people, they get a little bit lazy. They're just like, okay, I'll just take 130 and 80 and average them. But that's not really fair because there's more of the smaller boulders and fewer of the bigger boulders. So, how do we do it? What we do is we take this information and we say, okay, if the 10 boulders have a mean weight of 130, that means the 130 was the total of the 10 boulders divided by 10, right? We add up all the boulders, we divide it by 10, we got 130. Maybe I rounded, but let's pretend that we didn't. Now, if I multiply both sides of this equation by 10, specifically to get rid of this denominator, we see that the total of all the boulders, the total weight is 1,300 pounds. Okay? And similarly, the total weight of the bigger boulders, well, There were 7 of them, averaging 180. It's going to be 180 times 7, which I don't know off the top of my head, but I have a little calculator here, and it says 1260. That means that the 10 smaller boulders have a total weight of 1,300, and the 7 bigger boulders have a total weight of 1260. So the combined weight is 1,300 plus 1,260 divided by the total number, which is what, 10 boulders plus 7 boulders. So the overall mean is going to be 1,260 plus 1,300, which is 2,560 divided by 17 is 150.59. Let's call it just 150. So this is a clever way to figure out averages of things. So if you have 2 classes and one class had an average grade of one number and the other class has an average grade of another thing, you multiply the average times the number of people there and you get the total of all their scores or something like that. This is a thing. There's a couple of them on the homework, and if you have any questions, please ask.